Alright y'all, welcome back to the channel and to some more slug testing, and today we've got another very interesting combination that was definitely requested pretty highly by you guys. The last time we tested these particular slugs, they were decent, but they had a little bit of inconsistencies out at longer ranges, so I'm curious if today's choke combo might actually be able to tune them in just that little bit. There's definitely some potential here, but we'll see what it's capable of. As for the shells we're going to run today, I brought out some more of the Remington Slugger rifled slugs. These ones are a 12 gauge 3-inch 1-ounce slug at 1760 feet per second. I don't think we're actually going to see that number today from our little bit shorter barrel, since they probably tested these through like a 28 or sometimes even a 30-inch barrel at the factory, and we don't have that. But still, this is a pretty stout, pretty hot load, 3-inch 1-ounce. You can definitely feel them in the recoil department as well. And like I just mentioned, they were pretty solid last time, but they got a touch inconsistent out towards 100 yards. So we'll see what they can do through today's choke. As for our setup today, I brought out the Remington 870. This is your very basic run-of-the-mill 870, completely smoothbore, 24-inch barrel. However, we have a Carlson's rifled choke tube in here today. Last time we ran them through an improved cylinder, and that is what the box suggests, but we've been kind of testing some of these Carlson's rifle chokes here recently too. 20 gauge one hasn't been anything impressive. The 12 gauge one though has shown a little bit of promise, but I don't know that we've tested a standard rifled Foster style slug like this through it yet. We've tried some other shaped or styled slugs, but not this, so we'll see what it does. And for those curious, Carlson's does say it's a 1 in 35 twist rate, which isn't a lot right at the end of the barrel, but that is a standard slug gun twist rate, so it will have some effect on the spin. And up on top is a Hawk Vantage IR 3-9x40 with the slug gun reticle in it. Nice scope, that's for sure. We do have a receiver mounted scope on this shotgun, so everything as far as the barrel tension goes is being held by the magazine cap. It's not pinned, but it is torqued down, 3 clicks past hand tight with witness marks. It's been perfect so far, so we'll be able to see if our barrel tension changes at all, but it shouldn't be an issue. As for our test, we're going to run it the same as we usually do, a 3-shot group at 50 yards and another 3-shot group at 100 yards, all of which will be through the chrono as well. I don't have a ton of these slugs to work with, so we got to use what I've got, and that will at least tell us if this is a usable or decent combo at all, or if we have any improvement over just a stock improved cylinder. So let's get you guys a view of those targets. We'll shoot some groups and we'll see what these Remington 3-inch 1-ounce sluggers can do through a Carlson's rifle choke. Alright, so we'll take a quick look through our velocities before we look at our target. Lost claim is 1760. We have a 24-inch barrel with a little bit of choke out of the end, so we know we aren't going to see that claim most likely, and we did not here again. Now, I will say, a 24-inch barrel with a claim of 1760, I would have hoped to see mid-1600s, and that's not what these slugs have been giving us. Plenty enough velocity for them, but not really what I'm expecting based on their claim. But our high was 1602, which is getting a little closer to what I would kind of want to see out of this combo. But our low was also 1519, so pretty good spread there and not super consistent overall. They gave us an average of 1571, so I think we did pick up a little bit of velocity over just an improved cylinder flush choke, which does make sense, but it's nothing major. But we had an extreme spread of 83 with a standard deviation of 27. So at an average of 1571, here is your muzzle energy for a 1-ounce slug at that velocity. It's plenty good enough for your average deer hunt scenario, that's for sure. So how accurate were they through that rifle choke? Let's go look at our target and see what we got. All right, so here is our target, and we definitely saw some pretty interesting looking results. We'll start over here on the left with our 50-yard group, and that's nice right there. That's what I like to see. 3 of them that are overlapping each other. It pretty much just created one big hole in the target. That's pretty nice for 50 yards, no doubt about it. I do think that might be a touch better than what we saw with just the stock improved cylinder, so that looks nice. And maybe we did see a touch of improvement overall with that rifle choke, so at least we're heading in the right direction. To the best of my measurements, 50 yards, we had a 0.93 inch group, and that is from center to center on those farthest 2 bullet holes across. Either way, it's a sub 1 inch spread at 50. You can't complain about that one bit. That's gonna absolutely do the job. Now moving over to our 100-yard target, we had these 3 bullet holes. Obviously, quite a big jump between 50 and 100, that's for sure. I was aiming dead center, and I think obviously that choke group's a touch to the right, but we threw one over here, then we threw this one dead center, and then we were right back over here again. I felt perfect about all of our trigger pulls. Nothing came loose on the shotgun. The choke was fine, the barrel tension was fine, all the scope, rings, base, all of that is fine. And that's kind of what we were seeing with just the improved cylinder as well, where you'd have 1 or 2 that were kind of close, and then you'd kind of sling one a little bit out here or there. We saw a little bit of that here, but I do think it's a touch better than the improved cylinder as well. So yet again, I think we saw minor improvement, and it gave us a 4.45 inch spread overall, so nothing to write home about, but it is still minute of deer out at 100. And for those curious, with our improved cylinder, we had right about 6 inches for a total group spread. Overall, I think that's probably about average. It's kind of what I expected to see. I was hoping for a little bit better out of that rifle choke, especially after seeing that 50-yard group. If we could have held a 2 to 3 inch group out at 100, then we'd really have something here. And we know that smoothbore 870 can do it after we just recently tested some old Federal shells that were 2 inches at 100 yards. So maybe we're starting to cross the transonic barrier somewhere out there and just opening it up a little bit more. Or who knows, maybe these Remington slugs might be just a couple thousandths undersized and they're barely grabbing the rifling in that choke. So it's making a extremely minor difference, but maybe some other slugs might be a touch different outer diameter and might really like that choke or might really not if they're undersized. I don't know. We need to do some more testing with it and see what we get as far as trends go. Either way, I'd call it about average. Perfectly usable at 50, 60 yards all day long. It's still minute of deer at 100, but it's a little touch more open than what I would personally like to see out towards 100. Typically 3 inches or better is what I want out of my slug gun, but still not horrible overall. It definitely could have been way worse, that's for sure. We've seen worse results out of rifled slugs out there towards 100, that's for sure. So not completely horrible overall. All right, well, what did y'all think about that result right there? I think we pretty well covered it. It's pretty much average. It's okay. It's nothing special to write home about out towards 100 yards, but it would still do the job. And there's an awful lot of old slug guns out there that took deer easily out to 100 yards with that kind of accuracy that people were getting with just a bead sight. So it can do it, that's for sure. I was hoping we'd carry our 50-yard group out towards 100 a little farther, moving from 1 inch to, I don't know, 2 to 2.5 would have been nice out at 100, but it's not exactly what we saw. But I would say overall, it's pretty typical performance right here for these 3-inch 1-ounce Remington sluggers. And we know that there are other slugs that just through a stock improved cylinder that can do better through that same 870. So seems like, at least for me, 50, 60, maybe 70 yards, perfectly fine, and it would absolutely do the job. But I don't know that I'd push it a whole lot farther out towards 100 than that, at least for my own sake. But leave all your thoughts down below. Is that about what you expected to see? Were you a little surprised one way or the other? Have you tested any of these Remington Slugger 3-inch shells? And if so, what kind of results have you seen from them? Is that a combo you would use if you were getting that kind of accuracy out towards 100 yards for a deer hunt scenario? Or would you prefer to see a little tighter of a group overall? And what other shells might you want to see us run through that 870 or that Carlson's rifled choke? Let me know all that down below. But with that being said, I've got some more testing to get done for you guys, so I'm going to get back to it. As always, we have the channel Instagram as well as the mailbox where you can send stuff if you'd like. All that information will be in the description if you're interested in it, but I'm going to get back to it, so I'll see y'all in the next one.